My name is C. Carwood Lipton. I was born in Huntington, West Virginia, grew up in Huntington.
Frederick T. Heiliger, Concord, Massachusetts was my hometown.
I was born in a town named Inchelium, Washington. It's on an Indian reservation up in northeastern Washington.
My name's J.B. Stokes. I was born close to Bonham, Texas, in a rural area called Leonard.
Born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. My father worked for this railroad. My mother was a housewife.
My nickname was Babe, and my mother, she was a little Irish broad, red hair, fiery, great woman, great woman.
Born and raised in South Philadelphia, where the times were tough. Mom had 10 children, so you had to work to survive.
I wasn't going to be in the infantry, I knew that. I was going to be in some top kind of a unit, or I wasn't going to be in the Army.
Nobody forced you to do this. You volunteered. And it was the notion that you wanted to do something, you wanted to be with the best.
But once you got in there, you was proud to be. We was proud of our boots. We was proud of our shoulder patch. And we was proud to be paratroopers. And we was proud to be working with the guys we were working with.
You know these people that you're in service with. You know those people better than you will ever know anybody in your life. I mean, you know them right down to the final thing, you know. And that comes when you start your training, while that progresses.
The training I got and the men I trained with gave me the confidence to go into battle.
We were just a bunch of ordinary kids when we went in, most of us. And a lot of the training was to build you up physically and mentally.
Had to climb this mountain called Currahee every morning, run it up and back. If you couldn't do it, why, you'd end up in another unit.
Of course, the name Currahee, as I understand it, means we stand alone together. That's an Indian name. It became a symbol of the camp because it was really rough and tough going up and down.
I'm going to say this. I believe that the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne Division was as well trained as you could get a soldier to be at that time.
We were thoroughly prepared. The men were trained, hardened, physically and mentally, and they were ready to jump. Thus we started off for Normandy. You know you're in the parachute troops. You're going to be jumping behind the enemy lines. What do you expect? You have no idea. That'll make anybody stand and search his soul for a few minutes.
We were all loaded down to the gills. We carried everything that we thought we could carry in the line of personal items, plus the necessary things we were assigned to carry, and we were loaded.
At the time, I had no feeling whatsoever. Like I said, my feelings was for my brother who was killed at that time. That infuriated me to no end. And that's when I jumped on D-Day, I swore I was going to kill every damn German I came across. And that's why I think they nicknamed me Wild Bill, because I did a lot of killing D-Day.
The sky was pretty clear coming across the channel. So since I was jump master, I could lie in the door, at the door of the plane with my head out in the slipstream looking down. And I saw the thousands of craft, ships, everything from LCIs to battleships down there in the channel. And I think that's when I first realized how large the invasion was, tremendously large the invasion was.
But they were firing in every direction. Even in front of you, back of you, you don't know which way to go.
The next thing is that you are getting close to landing and you're saying, there's some trees, there's a road, try and slip to avoid the trees, try and slip to avoid landing on the road.
So there's 4 guys that were with me on D-Day who did have nothing but a jump knife when they landed. So we had a hope scrounge. As it worked out for all of us, later on we run across somebody who had been killed, and you take his weapon, and that's how you get a weapon for D-Day, rather haphazard.
We were been trained from special assaults and whatnot, special assignments, but they weren't aware of what we had. They didn't realize we only had 12 people. So we worked our way down through the farm area to a hedgerow, and Lieutenant Winters had us set up a firing position.
Winters was an exceptional leader, and he was able to size up all through the war, size up combat situations and decide quickly and correctly the best way to take care of whatever the problem was.
God, it's beautiful when you think of a guy who is that dedicated to his company, to his buddies, that he apologizes for getting hit. But that's the kind of guy he was, and that's the kind each one of them was. They were all the same. Each man with great respect I can't describe. Each one of them proved himself that he could do the job.
I never thought I'd get through D-Day, let alone the next phase or the next phase. I thought I was going to get killed instantly.
We didn't figure we had a chance to come home. Yeah, but we thought, well, hell, the war's just starting. And Christ, we're 50% gone now, so it's a long haul.
I don't know why, but I got right there to where I didn't want to be friendly with replacements coming in because, God, I didn't like seeing them get killed. It just tore me up. And I don't know why, but they were the first ones killed.
I saw a huge mushroom cloud from the shell, and Joe Toy stepped out of it. And I run up. I remember that like it was yesterday. I run up and I grabbed him. And he said, "Oh, don't touch me." I said, "Joe, what's the matter?" He said, "I'm hit all over." He said, "I'm bad." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm going to go see Jim." He said, as bad as he was hurting, Joe Toy, he said, "Heffron, I already checked him. He's gone." And I never, I sleep on it, I eat on it, I never forgot that. And anybody that went through it, I'm going to tell you the same thing. They can't, nah. It's just so bad all your life. You got to remember what one guy did because he thought it was his job to do, and he took a shot for you.
Most intense I ever went through right here. Shelling. Most intense in the world. You couldn't believe it. You had to be here.
You just dove in the hole and just pray. That's it. If it comes in, you ain't going to know it.
You ain't going to know it.
We lost Muck and Pentella over on this side. They were killed instantly. Direct hit, 88.
Direct hit right in the hole. Just made mincemeat out of them.
Georgie Ludge come over and he hollered, "I can't see nothing of them. There's nothing there. They were all gone, just disintegrated." It's an odd feeling.
To me, it brings a lot of memories. Yeah. Memories of the men, the times, good and bad. A lot of memories.
A real cold night, we go to bed in My wife will tell you that first thing I'll say is, I'm glad I'm not in Bastogne.
The Germans wanted to get Bastogne because of the road network. That's why it was such an objective. So that's where we had to hold, which we did.
When we got there, we saw men singly and in twos and threes working their way back, some of them even without weapons, without equipment. Some of them were terrified.
They were beat to a nub, and every one of them were telling us, you know, they're going to kill everybody. They're running over everybody.
They couldn't believe when they saw us up there that we intended to set up defensive lines and to stop the Germans. They said they couldn't be stopped.
We didn't have no winter clothing or nothing. And that's where a third of the doggone casualty was either frostbite or trench foot, or whatever you want to call it.
Bad move. A lot of snow. A lot of everything you didn't like. Ooh, cold place.
Through a couple of shellings at Bastogne that were earth-shaking. If you live through them, you remember them for the rest of your life, and I'm not sure you're the same for the rest of your life after you live through them. You never forget them.
There was one moment there that I remember vividly. I'll never forget it. One of the guys got hit in the arm with a piece of shrapnel, took his arm off above the elbow. And they were taking him out. He said, "Get my wristwatch off of my arm." And before they took him out, that always stayed with me. I mean, a calm voice and everything, "Get my wristwatch off of my arm."
It scared the hell. I mean, I was scared, but I think I was petrified then. I thought the whole world was shooting at us at once.
Sergeant Garnier lost a leg, and Joe Toy lost a leg in the same place right there on one hill. I remember.
He came up out of his hole quickly, and we were still under heavy fire.
Joe said, "Jesus Christ, what do I have to do to die?" He got hit real bad in the back and the leg. And he's out there and have a medic, and he can't find a medic. I went out to see what I could do for him. Bongo, I got it too.
I went over to Garnier. He was sitting on the ground. His leg was badly mangled. He was holding his leg, and it was jerking like that. And he said, "Lip, they got old Garnier this time." He had been hit before, but they really got him there.
Assistant squad leader named Mallet. He was from New York City. And I overheard him talking one time. This was in Bastogne. He says, "I've been through Normandy and went through Holland. And to this day," he says, "I haven't got one scratch." He says, "I'm afraid when I do get it, I'm really going to get it." And he was right. In this little town of Foy, he got killed.
One of those prisoners handed me this little book I could have, and I looked at it, and it was a little Catholic prayer book for the Mass. And all of a sudden, I'm faced with the thing, hey, I haven't got Nazis here, I got some Catholics. And I've got a Catholic good enough to stick one of these in his pocket.
A lot of those soldiers, I've thought about this often. That man and I might have been good friends. We might have had a lot in common. We might have liked to fish, you know. He might have liked to hunt. You never know, you know. Of course, they were doing what they were supposed to do, and I was trying to do what I was supposed to do. But under different circumstances, we might have been good friends.
A great deal of respect for them as soldiers. They were very good soldiers. But they're still enemy. So they must be controlled as prisoners. I was assigned as major, and when he walked in, he presented me this pistol and offered his personal surrender, which naturally I accepted gratefully. So that would be the end of the war for his men, and this is basically the end of the war for my men. And the significance is that it wasn't until later, when he had given me this pistol and I had a chance to look at it carefully, that I realized this pistol had never been fired. There was no blood on it. That's the way all wars should end, with an agreement with no blood on it. And I assure you, this pistol has never, never been fired since I've had it, and it will not be fired.
These were people that I knew, and I told my daughter, I said, this guy here died at age 19 or 20. A whole life, never lived. No family, nothing. No children, no opportunity to have some satisfaction of building a life, nothing.
About the God more than anything else. Think about most of them every day. Something is etched in your memory, I guess. You'll never leave either.
Am I a little proud of having once served in that outfit? You bet your life. I wore that eagle on my right shoulder for 18 years. Probably the proudest thing in my whole life, having been in Easy Company 506.
How would you like to be a mother or a father whose son never come back? The son and the mother and father are the heroes of the Second World War. Not the guys that come home.
Let me say this. I don't believe there's very, very, very few heroes that came back from the war. They're still over there.
Do you remember the letter that Mike Roney wrote me? Do you remember how he ended it? I cherish the memories of a question my grandson asked me the other day when he said, "Grandpa, were you a hero in the war?" Grandpa said no. But I served in a company of heroes.